Well, everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the Samsung Galaxy Watch Ultra that just came out and compare it against the Samsung Galaxy Watch 5 Pro and see which particular watch is a better one for you. Now, it's funny because these two watches, they are very different than one another, but they were essentially kind of trying to be the same exact thing. I think the Watch 5 Pro, which came out, I think right before the Apple Watch Ultra, and this one was supposed to be, I guess, like the Ultra lineup that, Samsung was going to be making, but I guess the Pro lineup didn't really catch on. So now they're rebranding it, I think in my head, to the Ultra lineup, and this is going to basically be that Ultra lineup that's going to be the direct comparison or direct competitor against the Samsung Galaxy Watch 5 Pro or the Samsung Galaxy or against the Apple Watch Ultra. So if you want to pick up either one of these types of watches, links will be down in the description. You can get them from there and you can help support the channel at the exact same time. Now, the big thing to keep in mind is that the Watch 5 Pro is a couple years old now. The Watch Ultra, as you can see on the front, is giving you a 47 millimeter facing. So it's going to be 47 millimeters, which is pretty big. The Galaxy Watch 5 Pro, which again came out before, has a 45 millimeter casing. So it is going to be an overall bigger sized watch that you're going to be getting on the Galaxy Watch Ultra, but also it's a little bit more squared off. Like the design is a little bit more in line with something like an Apple Watch. It's not as circular, like it is circular, as you can see the display is circular, but it's not like one-to-one like it was on the Galaxy Watch 7. If you look at the Watch 5 Pro, that's more of a circular design. And although you are getting a bigger display on the Galaxy Watch Ultra, it is still very nice that you're kind of getting still like, a good type of, design and a very good display on both, which is very nice. Now, on the sides, you're getting the buttons and another button that you can basically kind of like, kind of interchange. I think they call it the quick button or something like that. And on top of that, you're basically getting a pretty thick watch on both. What's funny is that the battery sizes on both of these are fairly similar. They're both about 590 milliamp hours, which I think is very good to have. If you're going to go through and get an Ultra watch, you want it to have as big of a battery size as possible. So between the Watch 5 Pro and the Samsung Galaxy Watch Ultra, it's basically the same exact size, battery that you're going to be getting, which I think is going to be really nice to have here as well. Now, on top of that, on the back side, you have the standard wireless charging pad. It's really, really nice to have these types of things because you can go through and, not only charge your particular watch from your, charger, but you can also charge it from your, your other thing, your Samsung Galaxy phone too, which I think is really, really nice to have. I love being able to charge up my phone and have that type of capability right there, which is amazing. So that right there is another very cool thing going on there. And on the outside, that kind of covers it up here for the most part. There really isn't anything super insane kind of going on here that you haven't really already experienced. I think they're both relatively about the same thing. I think that's a really nice thing going on for these types of watches when it comes down to it. So from that side, that kind of covers it up there. Now, on top of that, when it comes down to the overall features between both these watches, the big thing that you're going to have to kind of keep in mind is something I always have to kind of keep in mind in the back of my head, is that with a device like a Samsung Galaxy Watch, this type of device is pretty much going to be giving you a little bit of different type of experience, mostly because, the changing of bands and different things like that between other watches is different. But within the Galaxy Watch lineup, it's almost the same exact experience when it kind of comes down to it, which is pretty important to know. Now, the big thing here too is that when you're looking at these types of watches between the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro and the Galaxy Watch Ultra, these are very rugged watches. If you're going through and if you're like, kind of like bashing this thing around, if you're in a really watery environment or whatever the case is, this type of stuff is very good for either the Galaxy Watch Ultra or the Watch 5 Pro. I'd probably say the Watch Ultra is going to be just better, more enhanced, but it is a very nice watch to have because it is going to be very, very durable. I would say the features that I would normally use inside of a Galaxy Watch, both these watches are going to be able to, handle me just fine in my personal opinion. Like I'm not like this like super big heavy user. So I'm not going to go through and just like have like a device that's going to just, be too like it's like both these watches are going to be giving me very similar type of experiences, which I think is something, very, very important to kind of have. And if I feel like if I'm going to go and pick up a device, I like the fact that both these watches are going to be giving me this type of experience because they are very much more so similar than not, because they're both going to be able to track my workouts and track everything I want to do with it when it comes down to it. So I would kind of tell you, if you're going to go through and pick up a watch, I would probably say a Samsung Galaxy Watch Ultra clearly is going to be the better one here for sure. That's the one I'd probably recommend a majority of people to buy. And if I'm going to go out and look at a watch, that is the one that makes the most amount of sense in my personal opinion. I think with a device like the Samsung Galaxy, Watch 5 Pro, I think that's a very good watch as well. And for sure, I'm a huge fan of it. But I do think, with the Watch Ultra, this is one of those devices that probably makes a lot more sense for me to go and recommend to people, just because that one is the one that probably is going to just be an overall better watch with more features ahead of it. But the Watch 5 Pro is still good, I'm still a fan of it, but definitely when it comes down to it, I'd probably recommend buying the Watch 5. I would recommend buying the Watch Ultra over the Watch 5 Pro. So that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.